Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome to episode 5 of my FIFA World Cup 2018 in Russia series. Last episode was a huge game between Portugal and Spain, and obviously a bit of a spoiler on the right hand side of the screen. You see that Portugal beat Spain, and at the bottom it did say 4-2. I was actually in charge of Spain in that game, so it was a big loss for me, but it was a brilliant game. Like, Portugal came out of the traps, they were brilliant. And it was kind of a late fight back. I think it was 3-0 up to Portugal. Managed to get a goal back with Rodrigo, but then they went up the other end and scored, and then later on Diogo Costa got a goal. Go and check that out. It was a drama. It was action-packed. It was a brilliant game. But this game, in this episode, is going to be France versus Australia. First chance to see France with all of their great young stars and experienced pros. We are going to beat France against Australia. And let's have a look at the kits. Very boring. Like, night kits, they have been a letdown. And then, in fairness to Australia, their away kit is a bit better. It just with that line. But that's it. But we're obviously going to be using their home kit in this. So let's have a quick look at the team, at how France might line up. Mbappe on the right wing, right mid, really? I understand they play Giroud. Like, Giroud plays very well for France, so I'm going to keep that. Griezmann just behind, I get that. Kante and Pogba, that is brilliant. Lamar on the left mid. I think towards maybe second half, I could go a bit more attacking, move it to a front three, so it's right forward, left forward, play like 4-3-2-1 or something, change it up. On the bench, we've got the likes of Fekir, linked with Liverpool, but now that deal looks like it's off. Tolisso, I love Tolisso, and Ousmane Dembele, that pacey king. We've got Lacazette and Martial, who actually are not going to the World Cup. Koeman, I'm going to bring onto the bench actually instead of Adil Rami. I just don't need another defender on there. You know what? I think Mendy should start over Theo Hernandez. And Zonzi's a good option. Zuma, they've got some very good players like Payet, Laporte, Bakayoko, Koscielny, but the two are Varane and Umtiti. So, without further ado, let's get into this game, because I think for the first time maybe in the series, I think that it should be a counter. I think France should absolutely batter Australia because of the gulf in class, I think. So we're going to be playing at the Kazan Arena in Kazan. I think that's where Rubin Kazan play. 45,000 capacity. Founded in only 2013, so only 5 years ago. Let's go. France versus Australia. Okay, so this is played in a day. We've got France, the French Football Federation, the FFF, against Australia, who are playing at their first World Cup in years or at all, actually. I don't know if it's their first World Cup at all, but like I said, this should realistically be a high scoreline for France to really set down the mark. Obviously, I'm in charge of France, and to be fair, I want to get back to winning ways, because so far in the first 4 episodes, if you have checked them out, you'll know what the scores are. But first game, I drew against Saudi Arabia with Russia. Next game, I won, which was Uruguay versus Egypt, which was 4-1, so quite convincing win. The next game, which was Morocco-Iran, I was Morocco, lost 1-0 to Iran. And then last game, I also lost. I was Spain against Portugal. So, indifferent results, which is good. It keeps it unpredictable, because if I was winning every match, it would be pretty bad. It would be crap, because it would just be me choosing the team and getting a win every time. So it's been unpredictable. I have loved it so far. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have, recording these. Obviously we're showing a presentation. At the moment it's the Australian national anthem. They haven't given Aaron Moy a face for the World Cup mode. Jesus. This should be, like I say, this should be a decent result for France. They've got so much talent out there. I should have realistically changed the formation so Mbappe was already further up, but we'll see how he does in the right mid position with Lamar on the left mid as well, because it'll be interesting just to see how they do. But obviously with Giroud up front, with Griezmann just off, I think that's perfect. On the bench, like I already said, we've got Fekir, we've got Tolisso, we've got Ousmane Dembele, we've got Koeman if need be as well. I feel like Koeman, because he's number 27, he's not going to the World Cup. But yeah, Olivier Giroud, I actually really like him on FIFA, and I love him in real life. He's done very well for Chelsea, and credit to him. I was shocked when Arsenal sold him, especially to Chelsea. So looking at this, you got Jedinak, who plays for Aston Villa, who unfortunately lost in the playoff final to Fulham, alongside Aaron Moy, who plays for Huddersfield, who are staying in the Premier League for next season. Congratulations to them. But yeah, here we go. France versus Australia. Let's go to our setup I like, which is team pressing and attacking, for anyone that is wondering. Right, let's see how we do with France. I have high hopes, especially in this game, because they're coming up against Australia. Right, let's see what we do. Gives it to Giroud. Oh. Right, let's see how we do. It should settle down. This is episode 5 now. We've had a good amount of goals so far. We still haven't had a card, I don't think. I might have to check that. I'm just not one really to slide tackle much. Okay, Kante, I'm expecting to do big things. Got Pogba, who's coming forward. You know what? Pogboom straight away in the World Cup. That's actually very wide. Let's have a look at this. Obviously, no one's played in the group stage, but I do like this sort of presentation. So the next game is going to be Peru-Denmark in this group. So we're going to have to see about that one. Okay. Mbappe to Griezmann. Giroud just couldn't get the return to him, but France has started okay. Probably could have been a bit better, but they've done alright. But Jurek is through. Why have you passed it? Why have you passed it? Why have you passed it? Australia could have got a shock lead in this game. Right, Lloris gets it straight away. Let's give it to Mbappe. Can he just stretch those legs nice and early? Oh my god, he's got so much pace to burn. No wonder he's starting in left mid, right mid, so he can get up those nice little flick back. Oh, I tried to pass a lot of bullets. I thought Giroud was going to be aware of that. Kante's won the header brilliantly. Gives it out to Thomas Lemar. Gets it to the back stick. Griezmann can't get up. Behic has got it away. Obviously, I'm going to be at the near post again. See what happens. Nothing too great. Right. I just heard the commentators say that it should be a frolic to France. Realistically, yeah, but I haven't done great in this tournament so far, so we'll see how they do. But they're holding their own so far, Australia. But once I settle into it, I think once that first goal goes in, should settle down if it goes France's way. If it's Australia, then France need to get back into it. Okay, like, something's wrong here. I think it's the formation again. I struggle with Spain's because they were playing too wide when they've got so many technically gifted like cams. But we'll see how it goes. Moy to take the free kick. Okay, more up than out from Varane. Gives it to Giroud. Kante can get away. He's got pace. He's nimble. Dejanic did very well there. Alright, let's go. Jesus Christ. Alright, give it straight back to him. I've no time to fanny about. Pogba's... everything's so lethargic so far by France. That's poor. That is a poor pass. Mendy's done brilliantly there. I don't like this formation. It's just not working out. Right, let's give it to Griezmann. To Kante. To Griezmann. Right, Mbappe needs to run. Oh, I passed it to Mbappe, but it locked onto Giroud for some reason. Yeah, Mbappe needs to be further forward. That's a given. Come on, come on. That's good. That's what's annoying me. Everyone's pass, like touch is so slow and lethargic. Like I already said, I have high hopes of France in the World Cup, and I'm sure they'll play a lot better in the actual World Cup than they are today, because every pass is sloppy. That's poor so far. Let's get out to Mbappe. We need to get him more involved in the game, I think. Kante, can you do something? And it's half time. In a game I thought was going to be a battering, at half time France have had one shot. I do believe though it's the formation. I really do. I'm going to keep it like that. Griezmann can play there, and I want Mbappe at the right side. I'm going to take Lamar off, and I'm going to bring on Tolisso. I think that team, is their best. That's how I would play it, and hopefully there is improvement, because Griezmann has struggled to get in the game. Giroud has struggled to have a good touch and get out his feet. Mbappe's shown signs, but he's been starting too deep, so I mean he's knackered by the time he gets up the pitch. Let's just see how they do, and let's see if there's an improvement, because France should be one of the favourites, but they've only had one shot in this game so far, and it's just been poor. There we go. And that was Pogba's awful shot. Okay, we should get a corner from this, which we have. Right, Giroud needs to get on his bike to get near post. Giroud wins it, but it's so far wide. I wonder what striker but France got on the bench, because Giroud's had a poor game. Griezmann needs to be on his bike earlier. Giroud has been poor. He can't get it out of his feet quick enough. Who we got to bring on? I'm probably going to say bring on Ousmane Dembele and just push Mbappe straight up top. Because that just sums up Giroud's day, and like I'm sure he'll do better in the World Cup, but in this game so far he's struggled. And well, France has struggled, like Spain did in the last episode. But Spain actually got some passing to go second half especially, but that's a great ball over the top by Giroud. Mbappe hits it, but Matthew Ryan has done it. Is Matthew? He's done very well. Pogba is going to fill that near post spot. That's much better already. Just a bit of urgency about them. Now it's Mbappe's chance, but Aaron Moy gets out for another corner. Okay, now someone has actually gone near post. But that shouldn't stop me too much, right? 25 minutes to go. France needs something here. So far it's still poor, but it's better. Griezmann. They're doing well, Australia, just to... Tolisso has had a shot, and it's an absolute bullet. And this is why I love Tolisso. He can do everything in midfield. He can defend. He's got that physicality, but he's a very good passer, and he's got an absolute rocket in his right foot at times. France have broken the deadlock, as expected, but it's taken a lot longer than expected, and it's taken Corentin Tolisso to break the deadlock. Like... The number 12 might not be iconic to most national teams, but for France it is very iconic, because it was Thierry Henry's number for France for many, many years. And Tolisso breaks the deadlock and gets France off to a belated start, let's say. But if they can win this game, that's all they want. Settle into the World Cup. There's going to be games where they're going to win. There's going to be games where they might not do well, but scrape a win. But that is the sign of potential champions. Got Dembele. Gives it to Mbappe. Gives it to Griezmann. Gives it back to Mbappe. He's got the pace to get away. Get a left foot shot in. And Matthew Ryan saves it again for another corner. Much better now that the sub has been made. Just to add a bit of freshness. Got Kante now on the ball. Gives it to Umtiti. Tolisso. Is this Varane? Yes, it is. Dembele, can he get in across somehow? Cut back. Good ball in. Good ball in. Tolisso has got his second. Brilliant save by Matthew Ryan off the crossbar, but he's still in to get his second of the game. Look at this run from a deep position. Heads it. Great save, actually, but unluckily it's come back to Tolisso, who heads it in for his second and France's second. I do apologise to anyone that's wearing headphones, and I'm sorry for like the high pitch crackling when my voice gets raised in my microphone, but it is 2-0 with 11 minutes to go. It's a bit more happier for anyone that's associated to the French Football Federation. Better late than never. That'll be the headline in the papers. Aaron Moy. I was thinking Australia's going to try and get a late fight back, but that summed up their game. But Matthew Ryan has had a very good game, but it's very unlucky with the second, and it was just an absolute screamer from Tolisso to get that first. Oh, keep it in. Go back, recycle if you need it. Tolisso's on a hat-trick, actually. I forgot about that. Oh, just ran into Cruz. Cut back into Cruz, I should say. Yeah, the Tannoid. Tolisso has got man of the match, quite rightly so. He's been brilliant since he's come on. I haven't seen much of Griezmann. He's struggled in this game, but he's going to be on the winning side. Okay, I thought that was going to be a free kick. Oh, that's poor. Looks like it's going to end 2-0. And it's all over, and France do pick up the win. Maybe it's not as big as a lot of people expected, but a win's a win, and it's actually the first clean sheet by any team in this World Cup, and I'm back on to winning ways in playing games, but it's as expected. I'd probably say 2-0 is going to be sort of the result in the actual World Cup, because honestly, you could see a team like France just struggling to make chances first half, and second half make a few changes. I could see that being a realistic game, but maybe there might be different scorers to Tolisso, who, once he came on, he made a difference, and that's all that you can ask for a player that comes off the bench. Just make a difference, have an impact, and you can see that. But at the end of that, I think it was 1 shot, none on target at half time, so we had an extra 9 shots, 7 on target from that, and Tolisso gets man of the match. Australia, it's probably as expected, but in the end it was a comfortable win for France, who go on and get their first victory. I don't actually know if I was actually about to say I don't actually know if it does like each group like that every game is, because obviously the TV schedule for the World Cup in real life, there could be some games where the next teams from the next group play before some of the old ones, if that makes sense. So it don't really matter what order it goes up on, because like in the titles, as you can see, it does say what group it is, so you can follow it along. And obviously in the episodes you get to see you get to have a look at the group stage as it goes along. But guys, if you have enjoyed this match between France and Australia, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and until next time guys, goodbye.